Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday. It's time for a 5x5. Now, once again, I'm going to be doing a performer spotlight this week. That's where I take one of my favourite performers. I give you 5 videos that you might not have seen before of them performing real tricks that they've created. And I talk about why those tricks are so great and why the performer in question is so awesome. And today, I'm going to be talking about Tom Stone. Now, who's Tom Stone? Tom Stone, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the, if not the most creative magicians on the planet. Tom Stone has done more for magic and more for creativity than anybody else I know. He is, by any definition of the word, an absolute legend. There are millions of tricks that I could talk about when it comes to Tom Stone. You know, of Dice and Men, when it came out just before the pandemic, I think, or a couple of years before the pandemic, through Vanishing Ink, was one of the most popular tricks of all time. His books have a plethora of an amazing material in them. He continues to create, inspire, and if you haven't seen Tom Stone, you are in for a treat. It's as simple as that. We're going to be doing a performer spotlight of 5 tricks that Tom, that you might not have seen before, and I've got live performance of Tom doing all of them. Now, you might... to be honest, I've got enough material to do about 4 or 5 of these on Tom Stone. So if you enjoy this video and you want to see another video on Tom Stone performing, then please let me know in the comments down below. But it's time. Here we go. We're going to start off big. We're going to start off with Quantum Logic, which is what he used on Penn and Teller Fool Us, and it's a trick that's also in my own act, and I'm so proud of performing it. Quantum Logic, it's the first one. Let's go. So that was a performance of Quantum Logic. Now, Quantum Logic is amazing, and it's a perfect example of Tom Stone's performing character. It's kind of weird because Tom has 2 performing characters. First of all, he has the suave, sophisticated magician, the kind of the cool, dynamic magician. You see that in some routines. And then you kind of have this bumbling magician who doesn't really know what's going on, and magic just tends to happen and doesn't know why. And that's what this is all about. That's what Quantum Logic is all about. Stuff just happens. I mean, I love that line. Whose box is this? Whose box is this? Now, anybody else who created this routine would have probably gone in a completely different direction when it came to the presentation of this. Definitely wouldn't have gone down this route, but this is so Tom Stone. This is Tom Stone through and through. And one thing that you're going to see over the course of the next few videos that I share with you is Tom's ability to take classics of magic and really turn them into something a little bit more unique. And that's what we have here. Tom has taken the starting point of a draw box and really kind of pushed it in a completely different direction. He's gone from the draw box to something completely different. And that whole combining playing cards with books and the Pegasus page with selected cards, and there's so many different principles and so many different concepts at work here, and it creates this moment which is just great. You have 2 people up on stage and nobody knows what is going on. Nobody has a clue what's happening. It's all just this really baffling moment of insanity. And the magic just tends to become more impressive because Tom himself doesn't really seem to know what's going on. I've been performing Quantum Logic since before the pandemic, and I love it. I love Quantum Logic. It is so fun to perform. I perform it very differently to Tom because I believe in taking magic and making it your own. But the idea of the concept behind this is just great. Now, I talked about how Tom has this habit of taking a trick, taking classics of magic, and taking them in a completely different direction. This couldn't be more clear than the next video that I'm going to share with you. Everybody has seen the Silk to Egg routine. Silk to Egg is a classic of magic. It's a classic of magic for a reason, right? It's just a brilliant routine. Well, what we have here is we have Tom's version of Silk to Egg. I'm not going to say any more. Watch this.
So, your name is?
Derek.
Derek. Audience, this is Derek. Come a bit closer. And all these bright lights, yeah, you cannot see them. This is quite good, because even though they are nice now, they can turn like that. So, yeah. And I will teach you a trick, and quite simply, you only hold your hand like that. Wonderful. Touch briefly there. Good, you're very relaxed, that's good. I will give you something to hold, so if you hold this like that, I will have something similar. Where's mine? There's mine. So now all you have to do is to push the silk into the hand like that. Perfect. Do you have a small magic wand? Otherwise we can use my pen.
Okay.
Yeah, just wave it about and say the magic works.
Hocus pocus. Hocus pocus.
Yes, loud.
Hocus pocus.
Perfect. And I will do the same. Hocus pocus simsalabim. I'm professional, I get more words. So now slowly turn the hand inwards and open up at the little finger and show that the silk can become an egg. I'm not, let me see. You were meant to fail so I could laugh at you. Because most people get nervous and show the wrong side of a trick, and then you can laugh at them. Take it again. Because we professionals, if that happened to us, we can just remove the hole like this and put that into our pocket. See if we can do the same.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Can you show it from all sides? Here. Can you guess what happens now? Hold out the hands like this. And you're welcome to join.
So Tom is one of the only people that I know that's taken the silk to egg routine and made it into a routine where the spectator does the magic themselves. Cody Fisher has a version of this as well, which is great, but I think I prefer Tom's more elegant, excuse me, Tom's more elegant approach to this. Now, the silk to egg, as I say, is a classic for a reason, and people have done it for years. I remember Jasper Cherry doing it on Britain's Got Talent in 2020, and literally lighting up the place with the simplest of tricks, right? Well, what Tom has here is he has a version of silk to egg, but the spectator is doing the magic as well. Go back and watch that video again. Tom has taken this classic of magic and taken it in a completely different direction. And he's done it. The spectator has no idea that that egg is real. No idea at all. And the way that it's structured at the beginning, where the spectator holds onto the egg and they're doing the trick at the same time, and they turn it round and they show it's an egg and it's amazing. And then you show that it's actually got a hole in it. And just the whole thing is beautiful. The whole structure, the whole way that the routine is done, absolutely everything. Nobody sees it coming. And when both of those eggs turn into real eggs, that's one of the strongest moments that you can have in magic. I mean, it's strong enough where you peel off the hole and you crack it and you show it's a real egg. But when the spectator's doing it and they don't even know how they've done it, they assume that this is that plastic egg that we're using a second ago, and now it's this real egg. They don't even know. It reminds me a little bit of that that trick that Illusionist put out, and I really can't remember it, and it's terrible that I can't remember it. The one where the magician says they're going to vanish the spectator's phone, and they're holding the performer's phone to film the vanish of their phone, and it turns out they've been filming on their phone. I love that. It's brilliant. I can't remember the name of it. It's going to come to me. I'm really can't. Optrix. Why can't I remember it? I love that trick. It reminds me a little bit of that, because they don't even know. They just think the whole thing's a gag. They're just going along with it. Oh yeah, look, it's an egg. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then they have this moment that normally there's a dual reality situation going on here, right? The audience are amazed while the spectator's kind of in on it. There's no dual reality here. The spectator hasn't got a clue how that egg became real. It's just brilliant. It's a perfect example. I've talked many times on this channel about taking a trick and making it your own. This is a perfect example of Tom Stone taking a classic of magic and making it his own. We're now going to move on to what I think, this is the best silk to egg I've ever seen. Now let's talk about the best sponge ball routine I've ever seen for stage performers. This is called Benson Burner. I remember learning this in one of Tom's books many years ago. It's brilliant. So that's Benson Burner. Benson Burner is Tom Stone's version of the Benson Bowl routine. I remember seeing him do this live at Ron's Day, the old International Magic Convention, and just didn't see it coming. And when all of those balls appeared, I was just like, what the hell did all they come from? That doesn't make any sense at all. But I don't think magicians appreciate just how amazing this routine is. Go back and watch it again. And go back specifically and watch the vanishes. And go and watch the fact that his hands are empty all the way through. It's not in the other hand. His hands are empty. The routine, the structure of this routine is just brilliant. Ryland's been learning this for the best part of a year and a half, and he's still not got it yet. He really wants to do this. Even though me pointing out to him that the reset is an absolute nightmare when you think about all those balls that are all over the stage. But this is, if I was if I was touring in a stage show, I would do this every single night. This is just an incredible trick. Again, I'm going to say the same thing with Tom Stone stuff that I said with Tommy Wonder last week. Saying the word trick is trivializing what Tom Stone does. It's not a trick. It's a piece of art. And the choreography and the construction of this routine, and every single moment has been thought out. And if you read the book where this is written up in, you'll see that he's gone to the nth degree. It would have been very easy to just do a normal Benson pole routine, keep the thing palmed all the way through, and then just do a load. But he's wanting to create here a piece of art, and it's the way the man's brain works. It's just baffling, it really is. And it's an example of the differing characters that he portrays when he's on stage. Compare how he is in this routine to doing the quantum logic routine. It's completely different when you actually think about it, right? And it just shows you can have more than one approach to performing your magic, and that's what Tom Stone does. He has more than one approach to performing his magic. Now, next up, what are we going to look at now? I'm looking at my list. Let me look here. What have I got? Oh, yes. Yes. So this next routine One thing that Tom's really great at is card tricks. I'm just going to say it out loud. He's amazing at card tricks. If you read through his books and his ebooks and his various different books, he's got some of the best card tricks I've ever read. Like, his card tricks are amazing. And a lot of them involve kickbacks and multiple kickbacks and double kickbacks. And he leads the audience down a garden path and then just pulls the rug out from underneath their feet. This is a perfect example. This is called change blindness. And that's the title that it's been given on his YouTube channel, where I took this from. Change blindness. I believe it's in one of his books. I believe it might be Maelstrom. But this is one of the most perfect sandwich routines you will ever see. I'm not kidding.
I have two groups of cards here. It's 4 queens and the 2 aces. 4 queens, 2 aces. Could you shuffle these? Mm-hmm. And yes, you can shuffle those. Are you happy with your shuffling?
That's it.
And are you happy with it?
Yes.
Do you think you can point somewhere in the bottom half? And somewhere in the top half? So we will use the section in between here. Mm-hmm. And I want you to stop me when I shuffle the cards, because we're going to use one of the queens only. Okay. So just say stop anywhere.
All right. Okay, stop.
Okay. Could you please remember this queen?
Okay.
Queen of spades. So despite these cards being separated with these many cards, I will try to make them move together like this and catch. So your aces will catch your queen of
spades.
Spades, yes. And it looks like this. Yes, look here. 2 like aces have caught one.
Okay. Yeah.
So when it comes to sandwich routines, I love that moment. I just love the fact that you're conditioning the audience to think they know exactly what's going on. And then just when you're focusing their attention here, the magic takes place over here. And that is classic Tom Stone. It really is classic Tom Stone. He has this ability to construct routines in a certain way that it's almost like he knows how the spectator's going to think. And I think if you want to learn how to create magic, you really should study Tom Stone's material. You really should, because it's his approach to the creativity of magic that just turns everything on its head. You look at Benson Burner. You look at the choreography and the construction behind that, you learn so much. Here is another example. It's a sandwich routine. There's a million of them. But this is just so different because of the construction and because of the thought that's gone into it. Have a think about how your spectators think. Have a think about what your spectators are thinking and then turn it on its head. And that's what he's done here, right? He's turned everything on its head. I love that moment where he just turns over the packet and he just shows they're over there. This would be a great first phase into a longer sandwich routine. And yeah, if people that are watching this are serious about being creators in magic, if people that are watching this are serious about the creation of magic tricks, then what you need to do is you need to study Tom Stone. You need to buy all of his books. You need to buy all of his ebooks. You need to buy everything he's ever done. And you need to sit there and study how this man's brain works. Because you could lock 1,000 magicians into a room and say, create a sandwich routine, and they wouldn't come up with something like this. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's commercial as well. A lot of Tom's material is. He's also one of those only performers, very few performers are like this, that he's as good in close-up environments as he is on stage. His stage magic is amazing. His close-up magic is even better. I mean, it's a reason why, you know, there's so many magicians around the world that owe their career to Tom Stone, because they've had personal instruction, personal tutorials. You know, he runs days and seminars and retreats on how to actually become a better magician. And it's like I said at the beginning, there's nobody, I can't think of many people that have done more for magic than Tom Stone. And so now we finish off with one last routine. This one was called Forbidden Palm. I believe it was published in one of his books, although I can't remember. And it's the best version of the invisible palm routine I've ever seen.
Absolut.
Korten finns?
Det gör de alldeles utmärkt.
Perfekt. Så. Det här är en slags hemlig liten palmering som jag ska visa. För att om jag bara lägger ett av korten här och bara trycker så här, så blir det så tunt att det knappt syns. Jag märker knappt någon skillnad. Och lägger vi ner det här. Allt som behövs nu är lite kondens så blir det synligt igen. Och där syns det lite bättre. Vi kan göra det lite grann bättre så här tror jag. Att den här är skruvad till sist. Så. Vi tar bara trycker så här. Så blir det tunt, precis som innan. Det syns knappt. Där tror jag den syns igen. Och det är klöver, hjärter, spader. Tar vi sista.
Okay, so admit it. That fooled the pants off you. It did. You're probably sitting there now without pants because they've been fooled off you. I don't think Tom Stone really thinks about fooling people. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him about this. I don't think he thinks about fooling people. I just think it happens naturally. I think the most important thing for Tom is the construction of the routine, making it entertaining, making it engaging, making sure that there's no filler, making sure that there's no moments that don't make sense. But as he goes through that process, he creates routines that are going to fool the pants off you. And this is a perfect example. People are examining those cards the whole time. They're examining the fronts. They're examining the backs. You know that there's just 4 cards. You know as a magician that this routine should have an extra card. You know, watching this, that there's no extra card, and yet he's doing it over and over again. There's moments where that bloody card is just vanishing right in front of your eyes over and over again. This is a perfect example of taking a trick that's a classic of magic, and the invisible palm routine is a classic of magic, and just really thinking through how to make it the best it can be and how to make each moment really matter. Because a lot of people, when they're doing multi-phase routines where the same thing happens over and over again, they rush through to the finale. Tom doesn't do that. Tom will take each individual phase and make it as powerful as it could be. Think about any phase in this routine. You could do that as a standalone one-phase thing, but put together, it is bigger than the sum of its parts. This is a brilliant trick, but you know what? I expect that from Tom Stone. If anybody else released a trick like this, this would be their magnus opus. But Tom Stone releases a trick like this, it's another day in the office. That is why Tom Stone is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best living creators and innovators of magic that there is. And, you know, I got asked a question on the Q&A on Sunday, which was, who do I think in 30 years will be considered a, you know, a legend in magic? And I should have mentioned Tom Stone's name. I don't know why I didn't. I was thinking on the spot. But really, when I think about it, Tom Stone, in 30, 40 years' time, there are going to be people in magic, long after Tom's gone, long after I've gone, there are going to be people in magic that are studying and learning magic that are going to be building on ideas that Tom has created, innovated, developed, produced. The guy's amazing. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't looked into Tom Stone, you really should. If you're a performer, you need to study his performances. If you're a creator, you need to study the way that he creates. And if you're a magician, regardless of your experience level, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of whether you're an amateur or a professional or a hobbyist, if you want to become a better magician, then you need to study Tom Stone. That's just my opinion. So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Do me a favour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you as big a fan as Tom Stone as I am? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. If you haven't already done so, go check out the Netrix, by the way, www.thenetrix.com. You can go check it out and see all the fuss is about and why everybody loves it. I'll be back again soon. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.